What's up, everyone? It's Annabelle with That Good Shit, and today I am here with.
Yo, it's Plain Pat.
It's LIFEOFTHOM. What up?
A very legendary link up today. So excited to be talking with y'all. Um, the people don't know it yet, but there is a Life of Thom and Plain Pat project on the way that has been in the works for over a year now, which is mainly what we're here to talk about today. But I'm also a fan of both of y'all individually as well. So just really, grateful to be here with you guys today. How are both of you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah, no,
I'm good. Tired. Busy as hell. What about you, Pat? How you feeling today?
I'm good. Excited about the project and just like to talk to you about it. Just like it was like fitting that to sit here with you, to sit down with you first and like just go over it because
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, nah. I'm super excited to dive in and kind of give you like our stories and spoofs and the weedings of things. But yeah, we're here.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited to get into all of it. Before we dive into the project and all of that glorious stuff, I'd love for each of you to give a quick intro of who you are and what you do, if any of our audience maybe isn't familiar.
Yeah. My name's LIFEOFTHOM. I'm a rapper and producer from Washington Heights, New York City, Uptown. Yeah, man, just doing my thing. Shout out to Annabelle. Shout out to That Good Shit.
Oh, sorry.
Damn. Yeah, I'm Plain Pat. Been around kind of a while, but the A&Ring, producing manager. I used to manage Kid Cudi. I produced for with Kanye, A&R for Kanye. Did a bunch of other projects. You know, been fortunate enough to like be around some good people and be a part of like some big projects. So, uh, yeah, here we are.
Here we are. The resume's crazy, which is why it's so exciting to see you two link up. Because,
Yeah.
again, like I'm such a fan of both of y'all's work, and I think the main thing that stands out to me here, like between y'all, is like the mutual love of hip hop.
Yeah.
And it's also cool seeing like Thom, you're kind of more towards, you've been doing this for a while, but you're still kind of more towards the beginning of your journey because I know you're going to be in this for life.
Yep.
And you've been doing this for a minute, so it's cool to see you guys.
I've already spent my life doing it now.
And you got like way more life ahead of you, like
I
in
hope
this as
so,
well. So yeah, it's cool to see you two kind of unite forces on this project. So kind of take me back to the moment when y'all first met. Like, when's the first time you heard of each other and the first time you met each other?
Oh, yes. We get to answer this. All right, you go first for me because you have a
Okay.
different story.
Well, so a few years ago, I guess like about 2 years ago at this point, I had a group chat with Dr. Genius and Real, who was managing Dot at the time. We were just like, you send around links or whatever, and the video you had for Bang, is that what it's called?
Yep. Oh, wow.
In the joint in the subway, is that what it's called?
Yeah, it was bang.
Yeah.
With
So
Levy
it-
Gray.
Yeah, I guess that was it. Yeah. But anyway, so it was in the chat, and we were kind of like, "Oh, this is dope." Blah blah blah. Nothing really like a lot of things come and go in the chat, and then I was just moving back to New York at the time, so I wasn't. It wasn't like I was like on like a quest to find like something to work on. So fast forward a few months later, and Real was like, "Yo, this dude that you liked a couple months ago, he works at Dot Studio, the brewery, and James Burns works with him, and I could get you guys together." I was like, "Cool, cool. Let me think about it." Um, I'm always hesitant to like jump in the studio like cold with somebody just because it's like, you never know.
Mm.
And at the same time, like in the same like time period, my homie Matt Trammell sent me a link of actually your interview with Eric the Young God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to him. So, because I was living in LA for a while, and I was just back in New York, so I was like a little out the loop. And he was like, "Yo, you should check her out. She posts some dope playlists, blah 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 blah." And you had posted the joint with him and Ferg, Smoke.
Yo, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You showed
So
mad love to have at least two. I
Yeah.
remember that. Damn.
So all this stuff just kind of happened at once, and I was like, "Man, this is kind of like a sign." You know what I mean? When things like that line up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Yo, let's set it up." And this was like, I guess this was like March, April of last year.
Damn.
And we linked and like at the brewery at Dot Spot, and did like a bunch of songs like right on the spot. He like I went in with beats.
We
I
had
had
4 joints. We had like 5 joints that day.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was crazy because when I moved back from LA, I spent a year like just cooking up, just on my own. Like I got my old MPC back out, and I was just chopping up records and stuff. So I was sitting on all these beats, and yeah, it just kind of worked out. And I went in and started playing for him, and he was like, "Yo," and he just right on the spot just start writing. I'm like, "Damn!" Like you know what I mean? It was like kind of impressive to just see like somebody just go in like that, and yeah, that was like that's the origin story.
Beautiful.
So yeah, but
Let's get Tom's
yeah,
POV.
Tom's perspective on that.
Honestly, like it's so fire to know that this guy and like Dot was looking at a super old song. Looking back, like Bang was a part of a whole other album rollout. It's like
Yeah, it was like 2022.
yeah, it
or
was like
something.
it was late 2022. I put that joint out that December. Yeah, I mean, for it's basically playing off that. I got the text from James Burns top of January last year, and he was like, "Yo, bro, SOS, Plain Pat, I don't know if you know, dude." I was like, yeah. He was like, yo, he wants to get in the studio. I was like, what? Like, the fuck you mean? Like, how? And he was like, oh, well, my man's, he works with him and he knows me through here. And then I remember I got in with Stoic at that same time, and like, but he had hit me, so like, I was just like, all right, I need to like go check this shit out, and yeah, we got in brewery. I love Brewery Studio. Shouts Dot the Genius, great spot. That spot honed in like a lot of my early like practices, and like just getting like a lot of songs I have out now was like recorded there. But we got in. He was playing joints, and I was like, yo, like damn, like these beats is like this is the joints I've been needing. And I just came fresh off dropping that whole EP with James Burns. So it was really nice and refreshing, the sound. And, just to get in with like this guy right here, you know what I mean? Like, we kind of hit it off, like from the jump, like that first session. It was just like, it was love, and, yeah, I made like it was a solid at least like 4 joints. Now that I remember, it was a solid 4 joints. Took the email, took the contact, and then pretty much from there, we was still speaking here and there. But that's what started like the real like grind between me and Pat. We here now talking with you.
Yeah, you've come a long way. It's
Yeah.
been a long road
Yeah.
to get here.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to talk about everything that's happened in between that time to now.
Yeah.
But I'm also curious, Pat, like your perspective, because you've been in this for so long and you've been around so much great music. I'm sure you've obviously spent like many, many, many hours of your life listening to a lot of music, maybe had a lot of artists being sent to you, like, oh, would you work with this person? Would you work with this person? What was it about Thom that you heard Thom and you were like, oh, this is something? Like, what was it that really got your attention?
It was just like a combination of the visuals of that video and his energy, and and obviously the rapping, and just the vibe of the song, and like it was super kind of up my alley and stuff, and yeah, and then so that's how I took notice, and then when I heard Smoke Joint, I was like, oh, because that's a little melodic too, and I was like, oh, so he has a couple chambers to tap into, and yeah, a lot of my stuff has always been just like the vibe with people, and just how everything fell into place. It wasn't like a force. Like I hate doing forced anything, like forced collab, or like if you're in a studio with a stranger. Even like when like after our first couple sessions and stuff, we kind of I had some stuff going on. He had stuff going on, so we hadn't talked for a couple months.
2-3 month period.
Yeah. And then we got back up, and I was like, you don't know if this will work. We're gonna have to like kind of become homies in a way. Like it wasn't like
oh, I'm homies, all right.
Yeah, it wasn't like I'm just gonna like like force like some corny shit, because it's like, yeah, like you're saying, like
we friends, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I'm not one to like really can begin in the studio with like just random people. And I think, this guy's like been through a lot of different things and lived a whole, life, with this for real. So I best believe I was not about to be like, yeah, man, beats me rap. That's it. No, I personally, I don't work like that. I like to build with people. I'm not a surface level kind of dude. He's not neither. So, that's like, yeah, just sad.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just I mean, if you know Tom, he's like a really nice guy, super cool and shit. Just like, and he just has like he just had like that energy that like, because I'm from New York, I'm grew up in New York, so it's like a lot of people don't really know, some people don't know that just because of all my big projects have been with out of state kind of people, Kanye and Cuddy's like all kind of Midwest people. But it's like, nah, like this is like what made me and stuff. So, yeah, like, and I always wanted to like work with like a New York artist, like, um, so yeah, just
Yeah. Do you feel like working with like a New York artist like Thom brought out like a distinctly New York side of your production?
um, I mean, I don't know because like I was saying, I had cooked up a lot of the stuff
Oh,
before.
before.
Yeah, like a good not a, that we kept recording afterwards, but yeah, like being in LA like takes you out of like it puts you in a different mind state in terms of just like yeah like I love LA obviously, but um, when it comes to working with people, it's very much like more of mainstream. That's where you get your budget. You go to LA and like so it kind of had me in that mind state. And when I came back, I was like you know what I mean? I was like fuck that, like you know what I mean. So I was like I need to just like cook and like chop and like make like shit that I would like to hear, like and, just and hearing like Mike and hearing like all that stuff that was going on at the time, like it was just like kind of inspiring to like be like, yo, I can do this again, like
Totally.
yeah,
Well,
um,
man, so real.
yeah. So and then yeah, when we so yeah, like they kind of just went hand in hand, like like because he's New York, like his energy is super New York, super like uptown, super like. I mean, the first thing I see was in the subway, so it's like,
Right off the bat, it's very New York.
yeah. So it's like, yeah, like it's just it was a good fit, like you know what I'm saying.
So at what point did you guys realize like, okay, we have a project, we're doing an entire album together?
Yo,
I mean, I don't know for him, but it was just kind of like he just kept like I literally sent him a folder, like I don't send out a folder, but I sent him like a 30, 40 beat folder, and he just kept recording and kept sending joints, and I'm like, all right, man, like.
no, but I remember Real in the stew. He bleeped some like sneaky shit. He was like, "Yo, album," and he was like, "Yeah, nah, we gonna maybe see what's up." Like, oh, okay, but that was definitely a good foreshadow. And that's the thing. He ain't know, but I remember I kept that in my head, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep sending you joints, and like we gonna figure this out."
Yeah, even now, like I'll wake up in the morning, I'll have like 2 new songs in my chat, my iMessage. I'm just like, damn, more songs, like yeah,
in the morning.
yeah. And sometimes I don't listen right away. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's like you got to be in the right mind state, and then it's like yeah, like yeah, but like it's been good because we kept adding to what we initially started, and then like the project takes some shape and some form, like and yeah.
Yeah, it took form very beautifully. I had a listen right before I came over here, and it really does feel like a very like succinct world. And there's a lot of versatility within the world too. Like Tom, you have a lot of versatility in your voice. Like I've heard sides of you on this project that I've never heard before, which is really cool. But the first thing I really want to dive into about like the project specifically is like the sequencing of it. I think was really nice. How intentional, like how intentional was like the sequencing, especially like picking the first song? Like how did you pick that?
Yo, all right. My reaction right now is because like we have been going back and forth on sequencing, and low key like that's the first time someone said like, "Yo, I like that."
I didn't know if the
sequencing.
project you sent was the intention, like
That
sequenced
is
the way you
that's
want it
it,
to be.
top to bottom, done.
It
Like,
felt like it was intentional.
fire. Yeah, actually, yeah, it was. Like, we did a lot of corrections. I think the thing I've learned from Pat a lot working with him is intention. You can be someone cooking up joints like all time, putting out joints, but like you really want to like put thought to things and really, kind of like, Art Van Gogh or something, like you want to be really, it's art, so you want to make it look real nice and appealing. And I think the way we both resonate in that is like we like aesthetically pleasing things and the way they sound and wanted the songs and the way they connect, to really make sense and kind of just like each time there was. I remember when we got certain verses back, we was like, "Oh, psych, we gotta push that back up. You gotta put that up. Gotta put this here." But it was very intentional, just to kind of show the narrative and the story of this this vanguard introducing this new vanguard, and them kind of coming together and laying that foundation more so for the city, and beyond that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, tell me a little bit about how you picked like what the first song was gonna be.
Oh, sorry, I was supposed to answer that.
No, it's okay.
Wow. Well, you need an intro. You want a cool, like, you want a cool song that, like, I feel like is a hook and gravitates people. And just the beat, like, that beat is mad. Like, it's a little dark, but yeah, like, it's a little, even the things I'm saying, it's like it's introducing myself. I'm setting up the stage, like the champions here. You know what I mean? Bells is going off, and even the things I'm saying too. Like they're very prolific. Like even like the ending, like still broke with $1 billion smile. I know, you know what I mean? Like that's how I want to like let y'all know that hey, we're just getting started, and this is how like full I am. Now let's segue into the rest. Feel me?
100%.
That's kind of like how I see it. You want it's like fishing, man. You gotta have a good hook.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pat, do you have any notes on like the sequencing or picking that first song?
Yeah, well, sequencing is like super important just because like a song will work. A song when you listen, like a song will work in a sequence where it might not work like on its own in a way. Like, but if you surround it with like the right cast and stuff, it just it just works. And yeah, he had wrote a different song to that first to the intro first, and it was cool. And then he was like, I'm gonna go in again. And he just like spit. He was like, it's gonna be the intro. And it was like, okay, bet. And yeah, like it works. It's like because it's like it's a bop. It's got like it's got drums and stuff. Like people don't do drums anymore, but you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess you kind of said it. I don't really know if I made any sense there, but
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. I like how you describe like the songs around a particular song as like the cast.
yeah.
Like that's a really
It's kind of
interesting
like a
perspective.
movie, you know what I mean?
Literally, yeah.
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah.
surround the character with the
Yeah.
right, like you gotta contextualize it
You got
properly.
the right ethos, pathos, you know what I mean? You got introduced, and then there's the whole morale that you want it to be like super like sensitive, and for that you have to be intentional,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely the sequencing thing was something too that like I learned from a lot from Kanye because it was like he would like specifically like hold songs for his next album, be like this doesn't fit with the sequence or like this, what I'm saying, we'll save it. And he'd be like, why? You got this amazing, like you know what I mean? And it was like, and yeah, so kind of like just kind of went through, you know what I'm saying, the school of that train of thought just to get where we're at. I guess.
Yeah, and we see how well that worked out for him with like I really feel like he's one of the artists that's heralded as having some of the best sequenced albums where just like every single song is a perfect fit and the album wouldn't be what it was without each individual track.
Yeah.
So I see you guys also like, taking that approach with this project. Again, it feels very whole. And yeah, I love every song and I want to dive into a couple songs in particular. The first thing that really caught me as I was listening was the beat on 42. I really enjoyed that production. One of my favorite beats on the project. Tell me about how that one came together.
Man, I was just chopping up records and yeah, like I think when I made it, I chopped it up freehand, and then like wasn't to like a click track or anything.
Word?
I think so. Yeah. And then just recorded it in and did some editing, and we were at your boy Andy's spot.
Shout out NDK.
Yeah, and he pulled it up. It's like I'm gonna record to this, and I was like, what? Because it's kind of like, so it's like a jazz record, and it had like all those different parts of it, and I was like, okay, cool, let's try it out. And he spit it. I was like, oh shit, this is fire. And then like, we like took it home. I was like, this is the one. This one's fire. But yeah, it wasn't. It was just like different parts of the record. I just kind of chopped up and like. Yeah, shout out, to the person who, who we looped it from, and yeah.
Big
But,
shout out.
Yeah.
Another one of my favorite tracks, probably off the first listen, my favorite track overall was Cadillac with Jev.
Oh,
Really, really enjoyed that
and
one.
Jeremy.
Yeah, and
Yep.
Jeremy,
Yep.
dude. Yeah, that song is really crazy. Tell me about how that one came together.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
You want to go?
nah, I can tell you. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember how I made the beat to be honest. I just kind
And that's okay.
of, yeah, I think that was like one of part of the initial batch that,
Yeah, it was. It was in the first batch.
yeah,
I remember. Yeah, it was in the first batch. And I was like one of those joints that I was also like there was. I feel like if you've been following, me for a while and like my work, you would notice in my writing there's been like a shift where things I feel personally came a little more clear, and that was one of the records that I felt like I shined so well on, just like getting it straight to the point, and then you know, the, you know, getting other people on the record. You gonna have some people here one day, some people here the next. Though I just hit up Jev and Wiseboy, and I was like, yo man, like, um, yo, I need y'all for this record. You know what I mean? There were other MCs we had in mind, for the record, might have maybe gone a verse or two back from some other, but with all good merit and good understanding, we just knew like this is like this is the lock for the record, and Wise Boy sailed that, man. South Jersey shit, man. He man, yo, like he killed that. And shouts Jeff, man, Canada connection over there. Good dude, man. I like that guy's music, man. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful record.
thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, like, when he did it, I guess he did it like, I mean, last summer or two or something like that, and it was like there was like a flow on it. There was like a pocket that he caught on it that I was like fucking with heavy, and I think I had was like, yo, go spit it over, like catch this pocket, because it was like another verse or
Oh
something
yeah,
too.
yeah. There was a first version that was little. It was kind of weird. It was a little weird. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it definitely takes some back and forth, and that also goes into like what we were saying before of like when you do a project like this with somebody, you have to have that communication where you could be like, yo, you know what I'm saying, let's try this again, because certain people you can't do that with. They'll be like standoffish and like, but Tom like has always been like super like receptive to like, not even criticism, because it's not criticism, it's just like how do we make this be like the best it should be, like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm glad you like
Feedback,
that
man.
record.
That
Yeah,
shit's important.
Yeah, I think that's also just like a really good piece of advice for our audience in general is how important it is to be communicative in the studio and how that can make such a difference in what the outcome is.
Hell yeah! What? When I was first getting in with him, like bro, like I never forget like a lot of those records we made in the stew. Bro, I had to rewrite all of them. Remember, like that whole summer, like I had to rewrite all of them because I just kept growing as a writer, and like I was getting around like other dudes, like Stoic would push me and be like, "Yo, bro, like I don't know what you're saying here for me," and I'd be like, "All right, cool," and I'd be like, "All right," he'd be like, "Yo, honestly, I don't really know what you're saying in any of this," and I'd be like, "All right, cool, redo it," and
Yeah.
I think there's something to say there, because like a lot of people take offense, man, like.
Yeah, take it personal.
Like they take it so personal, bro, and it's like that's like the first book of life. Nothing is personal, you know what I mean? Like you just gotta just go, And I think for me, my quest at the time was like I need to just become one of like this still one of the greatest rappers ever, And I think that comes with making records feel transferable. Like I can, touch this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, next thing I want to talk about, you just showed us a couple music videos off the project.
Oh yeah.
I don't know like how finished all of them are, but I'm excited for them to come out. Some really
Jeez.
cool visuals.
Yeah.
Really want to talk about GTFO with Cautious Clay,
Jeez.
co-produced by Cautious Clay, such a talented, incredible musician and just like really cool person in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah, yeah,
Tell me
yeah.
how the song came together, and then tell me about this music video of y'all playing basketball against each other. And I heard he like whooped your ass.
Yeah, yeah. No, Cautious served me on the court, man. Yeah, I'm not the craziest at sports, but when it comes to hip hop, we going crazy. Yeah, Cautious. So I like Clay, man. He's a great guy. I've known him for years. Aside just being like a genuine fan, you know what I mean, and just like like I love indie music. I love stuff like that. He's always the guy like I'd see on like the Spotify algos popping up all the time and Apple shit. I'd be like, yo, this is
Bro,
amazing.
Cautious Clay is the king of like the Lorem
He's
playlist
super
vibe.
like playlist Lord King, man. And when we did the record, so the way it started, I went to his crib and we actually cooked from scratch. And he actually, no, he had a beat ready actually already, and I loved it. It was dope. The writing was sleek, and I was like, yo, um, I want this to be on the album, but we got to sprinkle some of Pat's, finesse on it to make it really like come full circle. And when he said that bounce back, I was like, whoa, this sounds mad like some like New York, like like fire, like the way he just got the right saturation on the drums. Everything was super dope. And then I hit up my guy, I hit one of my main guys on the creative team. He was like, "Yo, we should like go shoot this thing over at one of the courts at one of the piers near like Dumbo." And I just made up a quick treatment and was like, well, since it's a bunch of analogies like how to foul out of lines, boundaries, what I mean. I was like, why am I? And plus, those shit's called GTFO. We all know what that stands for. So it's like get the fuck out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Part of my language, but it's like I was like, we should ball up. You know what I mean? We should like get aggressive too, like, get different shots. I love, movement and all that cool different stuff. You know what I mean? And it was dope. There was other dudes on the courts that was there and it was like, yo, let's just play ball, man. Like, there's some cool angles, the hands and different stuff that'll like make the viewer feel like, oh, like I'm immersed in this, And I love the way it came out, man. You know what I mean? Everybody gonna love this shit when it come out, man. It's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super cool. And then the last track in specific, we got to talk about the music video. You also showed me Wiki shows up on this project, which I'm just like so overjoyed to see for a number of reasons, because Wick is an absolute legend, New
Facts.
York legend. And so to see Wick join forces with y'all, also two New York legends, it's just like the most beautiful New York moment. Tell me about that one coming together.
Super full circle. I love Wiki, man. He's like everyone's favorite cousin, Wiki, yeah, he's a great guy. I've kind of know him just off like, guys like my boy Big Dog, Upper West Side, or like guys like my boy Lord Rob, or, just like other homies, on more on like the Uptown, but, Upper West Side kind of vibe, just being a fan of, the music, dating back to, sport, Rat King shit. And when we did the joint, one of the first people like I thought of was like, hey, we should get someone like Wiki on this. And I already knew like I was somewhere around that radar because I was like, I know he's seen me, you know what I mean? And we've chopped it up a couple times. And yeah, someone we closely work with, who's who's working with, you know what I mean? We kind of like sent him over the record, and then like he was like, oh yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like he was like, let's go. Shouts Tramel. Tramel's the guy, man. Love Tramel. And yeah, we got Wick on the record. I hit up, my boy Dre. We got together and we linked up right there by one of the piers near the lower, and it was rain. It was literally shot this like about I think last week or 2 weeks ago. And yeah, I wanted the video to be super chill, super New York, super like very just like it's kind of like about to be the end of the day. Kind of is like got some beers on the hand. Like let's just you know what I mean? Like, let's just make it real casual and dope. And it came out phenomenal. I love it.
And Pat makes like a 2-second cameo at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Did I really? I haven't even checked.
Yeah,
it out,
you
man.
actually have to. You actually.
Yeah, I don't want to, shout out to Wick. He's like, he says a legend. Just, yeah, just as an MC and just from like the city and the downtown. He was around for. I remember seeing Wick when he was like 16. He used to roll around with Aaron, the downtown Don. That's what he used to call him and stuff. And he used to work as a I don't know if you know Aaron, but he would spit in the park and stuff like that. And everybody like, damn, that kid's fire. And then, yeah, he killed the Rat King. And, we were supposed to link a couple times as well. And then it's funny because I actually met Wick from Thom, and I thought they were like super cool and shit, and he was like, nah, like he was kind of like fronting the whole time, like they were like super cool, and I'm like, I thought that was like he's super your man. He was like, nah.
It was Young World last year, I remember.
Yeah, and he came to the lab and like knocked it out, which was like super.
Came a couple times actually.
Yeah, and like he came on the spot, wrote on the spot, and just it was developed for the video and stuff, and that's cool because it's just like. He didn't have to like reach back to like, what I'm saying, to do that because it's like, what I mean? He's
on person.
Well, he's like you said, he's already like cemented in this as like
absolutely.
Yeah, so it's like it was just cool to that he got on it and shit. Yeah, and like yeah, I don't know. I have to check the cameo. I like to be a little bit low key, like especially when it comes to like the artists and shit. Like it's their time to shine. Like this is rap music. It's not like beat music, right? You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, so it's like I take a little cameo and then
Yeah, it's
I
literally
it
like
back.
it's literally like you. It's like a side shot of you walking for like two
Yeah, yeah.
seconds.
2 seconds.
Oh
Literally.
yeah,
Like, say
that's
something
good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but beautiful to see that come together. I would love to know from each of your perspective, what is your favorite thing about working with the other person?
Wow. Oh, I ain't nah.
I mean, just just his drive is just crazy. Like I've never like I haven't really seen too many people that work as hard as he does, and like you know what I mean, puts 200% into into this shit. So it's like it has pushed, it pushes me to like be like, all right, let me like I really really gotta take this serious, and just like come out my comfort zone a little bit, and just embrace like the you know what I'm saying this class of like of artists, and you know what I'm saying, like people that are in the scene now, like you know what I'm saying, from him and Fergie baby and Sko and
Facts.
you know what I mean, like there's so much going on that it's like it's dope that it keeps going, and like he has exposed me to that in like a great way. So yeah, that's he's just like a hard ass worker, and just like you know what I mean, like it's inspiring to have that, because a lot of new artists and stuff, they'll be timid and stuff, or like blah blah blah, but you know what I'm saying, he goes for it. So it's like I gotta, you know what I'm saying, respect that. Like yeah.
Yeah, hardest worker there ever was,
Nah, facts
truly.
though.
And my friends and I were just talking. My friends and I would. Who was I talking to? I think Quincy and I were talking about
Shouts
you like
Quincy.
yesterday, and we were like, Tom has to be cloning himself. Tom has to be cloning
I live in the
himself.
walls.
There's no
yeah.
other way for you to be on top of all of your shit, making so much music, and also at every social or music
everywhere,
event
yeah, like-
ever. I see Tom outside like at least 3 times a week.
Yeah, that's true.
Minimum.
Minimum. That is minutes. Starting there. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like my theory is like, the more it's you, if you want to become one of the greatest of all time, and you want to become a household name, you kind of just got to go in as possible. I do know that I'm young, so I have these other years to really get that going before these knees start acting up a little, you know what I mean? And even then, many more years till then, but appreciate you guys. I mean, working with Pat, like, I think it's a wisdom thing and an intuition to music and approaching just a career in a certain way, and just his will to see him still readily available to be here and go. Like, I think the misconception a lot with, like, OGs is like there's always depending who it is, man. Like you either get a one and done, like some people be stuck in their ways, some people not. Pat is someone like he's always evolving every time. Like certain convos we have, like I'm always getting a newer perspective, or like I'm always like even on the sound, the song too. Like there's always it shows me like wow, like I want to be able to be like up there, you know what I mean, one day, and like be able to like do the same thing for someone else, young, and like I mean, the palette of sound and the history is like one that I've been working on our shit, and I'm not gonna lie, I put YouTube like Plain Pat studio shit, and there's nothing you can find, obviously readily, but like that, just that anima, is coming out of my being, because I'm that, inspired by this guy that's just like he just gets it, and I think that's like you don't really like run across so many people, man, like that just don't really get it, after like going just living a whole career,
Right.
and I love the fact that like he's just got this drive that's kind of like me, like like I'll be like doing my thing, and like I'll nudge him like, yo, like we gotta go even a little crazy on this record, and he'll be like, yeah, do that, and that's like that's fire. Personally, also, like, I just have no uncles, like, zero, like, in existence. So, like, all, like, my older homies, like, this guy himself, it's like, it's family, you know what I mean? So, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, this guy's,
He's like
it's
beating
close.
around the bush a little too much without calling me old.
Yeah.
I don't know
But
how I feel right now.
nah, I mean, it's inspiring to be around someone, like this, who's, in his so young in spirit, and like, so mature in his game, and, really like refreshing in the way he sees stuff. Like, I love that. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was beautiful, guys.
my
I'm
boy.
really, again, like
That's my guy.
the special relationship you guys have built really does show through in the music. You guys have built like such a cool sound together, and I'm excited for the world to hear this project. When people go in for their first listen, where should they be and what should they be doing? Like, what's
Ooh,
the
you
ideal
first.
conditions for the first listen?
Yeah, I'm throwing you in the hot fire. You first.
Shit.
Like walking down the street, smoking a cigarette,
Ooh.
eating pizza,
Ooh.
biking, like
Ooh.
any situation. Where should they be when they listen?
I mean, you know, everybody has a different relationship with how they first listen to music, but you know, I think like if you're in New York, it should definitely like being outside, walking around, wherever your neighborhood is, or even on the subway. Like that's always a great place.
Yeah.
Listen to music. You know, it's like, yeah, it's hard to say because like, you know, I would say in your car and stuff, but I don't, you know, I don't. Everybody has like different, you know, it's different now. It's a weird dynamic now with how people like take music like. Yeah, like it used to be a little bit easier, but like, oh, you play it in your car. If it sounds good, they'll like it and stuff. But it's like now, it's like nobody cares. Like, you know, it has to sound good everywhere. So, yeah, you know, just whatever your personal happy space with music is.
Okay. Your
I
happy
guess.
space.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I mean,
That's like a unique question. I don't know if I answered it right, but
That's a-
that's
I
a good
kinda would-
that's a
answered
good
it
ass
perfectly.
question. Yeah, that's a
I
good
feel
ass
like,
question.
I feel like I have the same answer. Like, kind of wherever your personal happy place is at, like, you know, listen to if that's the subways but after work and that nice nap that hits you from that subway car motion,
Ooh.
go ahead. If that's, you know, if that's biking, you know, or like, you know what I mean, anywhere like in the city, to be honest. But wherever you like to listen to music personally, like I'd say.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you'll see it in a Good Shit Weekly, and
Exactly.
then you'll click it, and then you'll be like, oh, okay, this is what she was talking about. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
connect the dots. So it's like
Precisely.
Another spot.
yeah. You know, because I can't front like running into your platform and what you put out there, kind of like changed my perspective too. Of like, man, you can like some like dope music, like, and not be like chasing the mainstream sound and like, and you know, so it definitely like helped where I was at that time. You know what I'm saying? So like, I always check out your play. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
so I hope,
Very refreshing.
yeah, I hope somebody else, I hope people find it where, you know what I'm saying, on your platform.
Absolutely. We'll definitely be sharing it and showing love. And thank you. Like, I really appreciate that you're taking something away from the platform, that the curation is helping you in your own process with discovering music, keeping up with what's going on, because that's why I do what I do. So thank you.
Yeah, of course.
The last thing I want to ask y'all about is what you've been listening to recently. Like, what music is really exciting you? Are there any artists you're really hyped about?
Oh boy.
What's in the headphones right now?
game
What's on the
plan, you can say
speakers?
No, it's a lot of stuff. I mean, you know, it used to be where it used to be like projects and stuff, but now everything is so scattered. It's you know, Fergie, Sco. I like this that do Six Bill a lot. Alexa Gates, and you know, a lot of New York stuff, and you know, but yeah, I like a lot of like I like some of the new underground Atlanta stuff. I like some of the Nine Vicious stuff. I found this new dude. I don't know if you see him. His name is JA66. Josh 66. You heard of
I
him?
haven't heard of him.
Yeah, he's dope. And there's this other dude named Aeter, Aeter. Like, he's dope too. Like, I think they're actually from the city, but you know, there's always something lurking. Like when you think you've heard it all, there's always like some new shit
Always
that
something
pops
new
up.
popping up.
Yeah, and it's like obviously like, you know, all the mainstays of Mike and, you know, Wake and all that stuff, and Rock Marcy, like all that stuff is like obviously like, but you know, I always like my taste always goes into like the newest, like the freshest sound, because it keeps me like going, like, you know, like
Right.
Nino Pay, the Baby Chief, like all that stuff is like that's like when I'll listen to that in my headphones, like, you know what I mean, just walking down the street or whatever. But yeah, you know, this is a lot. There's a lot of good stuff out there.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of play off him with like, you know, the mics and like, you know, Niantes, Lexa, super tough. Kind of listening to the, you know, new Jit album, Sig. You know,
Crazy.
bumping some Freddie. Um, let's see, some rock, you know what I mean? New drops from, Gun and stuff like that. But like, even like more like, on a little like, on the alternative side, bumping like, some Men I Trust, just, cool classics like Crumb and shit like that. But, like I like to stay updated, not too much because like I get overwhelmed. Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of music.
yeah, it's like mad music. But yeah, I mean, just keep up tabs, with what's going on and stuff like that. Fergie dropped the heater, this summer, stuff like,
Get that camera on.
yo, yeah, that was crazy, yeah, man, yeah, uptown shit right there, man. But yeah, who else? Let's see, this is girl named what's her name? Sure that did Ania who? I love Ania, she's dope. You worked with her. Yeah, you guys. Anyway, yeah, good music, man.
Good music. Incredible. Well, I appreciate both of y'all so much for your time. Thank you for talking with me today.
Thank
for
you.
Giving me an early look at the project. If you're watching this, you should go check it out. It'll probably be out around the time we drop this.
Yep.
So definitely go check in with Pat and with Thom and see what's going on. Is there anything else you would like the people to know about yourselves, about the album, about life, music, anything?
Um,
Final words of wisdom?
Damn. Wow, we went through a lot making this shit, man. We went through a lot making this shit. Albums take time. Like I like worked on like 6 other projects while working on this, while keeping this as like my main thing, because like I really want to scale my career to be a long one, and like I think, I worked like a whole job while doing this shit. I went on tour, like I did like a lot, and it's like this not even like my magnum opus, you know what I mean? This is just like, like 8, 9 years been doing this to see I'm just getting started, and like for me, I just hope everyone, enjoys the project. We all drive blind in different ways, and our faiths in what we want to make, incredible and an achievement of greatness, and test the time to stand. May this project allow introspection and inspiration, to whatever that means for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to come up with a good answer.
I mean, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, I just hope at this point, like, I want to make music that will inspire the next generations and the same way like I came up, like, listening to the greats and stuff. Like, I just want this to keep going, like, because hip hop has like changed the world, right? And it changes so many people's like lives and helps people get through the day and whatever they're doing in life. So I just want to like, keep that going. Like, and it's dope that like the things that I worked on, like I get to work with the people that help them and stuff. And I just want to like, keep that going because it's like, yeah, like, what I'm saying? That got me. It got me through like times, and I'll still go back and listen to the songs that like got me through like rough days and shit, and it still helped. It still works. You know what I mean? Because it's like
1000%.
yeah, like this is like it's an emotional like art form. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just hope like, you know what I mean. We keep it going. Like, so yeah.
We ain't stopping, man. They don't even know about all the joints. There's a mad other joints.
Yeah, nah, this is definitely like we'll yeah,
This is part 1.
Part 1.
yeah, like yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think this guy just like get me back outside a little bit.
I got him outside, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie.
I was inside heavy, but
yeah, he was. And I ain't gonna lie. Me and this guy, we be outside, man. So, you know what I mean? But we here, man. Shouts to y'all, man.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Shouts Pat. Shouts Pat.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Yay. All right.